CBS.
This CBS Sports Sunday News Update is sponsored by Prudential. The Champs-Élysées, the most famous avenue in the world. Folks from all over the world come here just to catch a glimpse. But today, they were here to bring their flags along with their cheers. Because today it was time to watch the most prestigious, the most grueling bicycle race in the world find its finish in Paris. And Phil Liggett, what a treat for the hundreds of thousands here to see their superstars, like Frenchman Bernard Hinault.
John, they've come from miles around to see their superstars, and one of the superstars this year, Greg LeMond, who's come on to the Champs-Élysées in second place in his second Tour de France. It's a day for the sprinters on the Champs-Élysées today. They're bringing their leader home now. No more attacks. They know they've lost this battle. They know the best man is known. And they come on to the Champs-Élysées across the sacred cobbles. They covered 6 times this afternoon. 1 lap left to go to the end of the Tour de France, the last 6 kilometers of one of the most interesting races. And the sprinters go towards the last kilometre. Hinault knows now that that yellow jersey is his for keeps. The 5th and final time I think he'll ever win this Tour de France, and he's safe. Now all that remains for the sprinters to take the day's honours, and Rudy Matthijs of Belgium wins his 3rd stage of the Tour. He's nowhere overall. The man who's won this Tour de France, of course, is Bernard Hinault.
2,567 miles and the best overall lapse time for this man. To dress in yellow one more time, Bernard Hinault, 5 Tour wins. The American story, of course, another historic one for Greg LeMond from Washoe County, Nevada. A kiss from his wife, Kathy. What about next year? The word from Bernard Hinault. And as you look at the final standings, with Greg LeMond 142 behind Hinault, the closest finish in a decade. Bernard Hinault completing it in 113 hours, 24 minutes, 23 seconds. Well, that, of course, was some 7 hours ago. We're live now from Paris along the Champs-Élysées, and it's my pleasure to reintroduce to you the man who finished in second place today, Greg LeMond. Greg, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, a lot of people in America must be wondering now, after that classic mountain climb in which you had the chance to go on and take the yellow jersey, why you didn't go ahead and do it. Can you put that in perspective for us?
Bike racing's a team sport, and at the time Bernard Hinault had the yellow jersey leading the race, and he had a 3.5 minute lead over me, and the team director didn't feel I was, you know, I would have enough advantage over the Stefan Rowe's second place rider had I taken the lead, and he told me to stop. And Bernard Hinault, after all, is my boss on the team, and I have to take orders from the team.
Were you a little bitter about that?
Yeah, at the finish, because, you know, it's been my dream to win the Tour de France, and it's the biggest sporting event in Europe, and it might only happen once in your lifetime, and I know I had that chance this year, and it's passed, and I have to forget about it right now. But there's always next year.
You're such a great climber. Do you think you have a chance to win next year? Will you win the Tour next year?
You know, I just won the time trial yesterday, and I think that with my climbing and my time trialing's improved, you know, those are the qualities it takes to win the Tour de France. And I think that, you know, I'm going to be another year stronger. And I think that with this year's experience, I'm going to have the best chance of anybody to win next year.
Bernard Hinault says that you sacrificed for him. Now he's going to sacrifice for you. What do you think about that?
I think it's true. I helped him win the Tour de France and the Tour of Italy, and I really believe without me, he would have had a hard time winning the Tour de France. So I think it's normally works for me next year.
Great. Thanks a lot. It was our pleasure following you, although it was a little difficult. Thanks again. For Phil Liggett and Eric Hayden, I'm John Tesh, and for a whole lot of other people who worked very hard on this show, let's send you back now to Pat O'Brien in New York. Pat?
And good job, John. Come on back home. Dave Michaels and all the gang, a great job in covering the 72nd Tour de France Classic. We told you.